You know that old dream, right? Turning lead into gold? It's the alchemist's obsession, but it's also the modern entrepreneur's ambition. Thing is, every transformation costs something. So in this explainer, we're going to calculate that cost. What do you really have to give up to achieve that kind of wealth?
It's a question we don't really like to think about, do we? We see the finish line, the freedom, the big house, the influence, but we totally ignore just how brutal the race is to get there. So let's get real. What is the actual price you have to be willing to pay? And that's exactly what we're doing today. We are breaking down that price tag. We're going to walk through the 10 biggest sacrifices that the path to wealth demands, and we'll group them into 3 big stages: the internal price you pay yourself, the external price your relationships pay, and finally, the ultimate gamble you make with your own security. So, where does it all start? Well, the very first payments you make on this journey come directly out of your own hide. It's an internal cost, and it kicks off with sacrificing your time and, yep, your comfort. Okay, for most of us, a 24-hour day is a delicate balance, right? But when you're chasing serious wealth, that balance gets absolutely obliterated. That work slice of your life, it doesn't just get bigger, it literally eats the other slices. Hobbies, relaxing, even critical things like sleep, they're the first to go. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Think about it. You can always make more money, but you can never, ever get back your time. Every single hour you pour into a project is an hour you can't spend with your kids or at the gym or just doing nothing. It is a completely non-refundable investment. And these are the daily payments. This is choosing to work instead of hitting the gym. It's pushing through pure exhaustion to finish something instead of just kicking back. It means making a constant, deliberate choice to live in a state of discomfort, all for a goal that's way off in the distance. Okay, so once you start paying that price internally, it's not going to stay contained for long. It inevitably starts to ripple outwards. Your intense focus doesn't just mess with your life, it starts taking a serious toll on the people around you. And this is where a huge conflict comes up. To build something meaningful, you have to make decisions that people just aren't going to like. You'll have to say no to friends. You might have to demand more from your partners. The drive to actually succeed is often in a head-on collision with our very human need to be liked. And this friction, it shows up in very real, very painful ways. We're talking about missing weddings, birthdays, the important stuff. It's old friends slowly drifting away because, well, you're just on a different planet now. You'll even get criticism and doubt from the people you thought would be your biggest cheerleaders, all because they just don't see the vision that's keeping you up at night. Now this might be one of the toughest parts of the social cost. What feels like necessary, laser-focused dedication to you. To others, it can easily look like you're being selfish, arrogant, or just neglectful. It gets pretty lonely when your own ambition starts to isolate you. All right, now we get to the final and, let's be honest, probably the most terrifying sacrifice. After you've given up your personal time, after you've strained your relationships, you're then asked to give up the one thing we are all trained to want more than anything: security. Just look at that number. Seriously, 1 in 10. For every single success story that you read about, there are 9 failures that you never ever hear about. When you decide to skip the stable career to build your own thing, you are knowingly betting against those insane odds. It is the definition of a high-stakes gamble. And it's so important to get this. The risk isn't just about the money you might lose. The real risk is something called opportunity cost. It's the stable salary, the health benefits, the predictable promotions. It's the entire comfortable life you're walking away from, all for a chance at something incredible. And this just lays the choice out perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you have safety and predictability. You know what you're getting. On the other side, you have total control and no ceiling on what you can earn. But the floor has been completely ripped out from under you. You're basically trading security for sovereignty. So after we've tallied up all the costs, your time, your health, your friends, your safety net, we have to ask the big question. Is the gold at the end of the rainbow actually worth this incredible price? When you boil it all down, it's this escalating formula. It starts with sacrificing yourself, your own time, your own comfort. Then that sacrifice ripples out, and it starts costing you your connections. And finally, you sacrifice the very ground you stand on, your security. You see how each step demands more and takes you further and further away from a normal life? And, maybe this is the biggest takeaway of all. The sacrifices aren't just a toll you pay to get rich.
The very act of making those sacrifices, of building that insane discipline, that resilience, that focus, it fundamentally changes who you are as a person. The wealth is almost just a byproduct of that personal transformation.
So, we end right back where we started, with the alchemist. To create gold, they believed you had to purify the base metals with fire. The real question, then, isn't just what you're willing to give up. It's what part of your current self you are willing to let burn away to become something entirely new.